Hello everyone and welcome for another video of Love and Wargames. In this video we're going to have a 1500 points battle report, more exactly 1650 because I wanted to bring all my Sultanate forces and that's the maximum I have for now. Today we have Zongo.
Hello.
Who is going to come with a list from
Crown,
exactly. So he does not come with the Imperium this time. He starts to change, like he plays a little bit of Commonwealth. So it changes. He might come back at some point with some Imperium, especially the flyers.
Probably.
Yeah, at some point. But right now we're going to have this scenario. We will talk about the scenario and the deployments in a moment. And just before that, I would like to remind you that we have a contest during this summer of 2023. You can leave a comment under this video and any video until June when we announce the contest. For each comment that you put, one per video maximum, you gain a ticket, and at the end of September we'll make a live and we will randomly determine through a software who will win a Commonwealth Black Wolf battlefleet. So don't hesitate to let us know if you like what we're doing, what you would like more as type of content, etc. Which factions you would like to see on the table next time. And right now, let's go. For this scenario, we make this basic table quarter scenario, so very simple, where we have to be in each of the table quarter by the end of the game, but probably there is going to be a winner by the end of turn 3, we guess. It's going to be very offensive over there. So my list, I have a little bit of Turkish and a little bit of Order. I play with the patron like the Sultan's Sirkan, I forgot his name, sorry for now, first time I play him, which means that all my ships will get +1 fray, and my Order ships, and I have a few you will see, gain +2 to their fray value, but my opponent gains some points, some victory points at the start. What do I have? I have right here, and sorry for the escort tokens of the Union, I was running out of escort tokens. I have the Topkapi, the carrier, with a shield and a portal. I put him just at 45 inches from his carrier, so he cannot send me SRS tokens, but I can put on him. So that's a little trick because I will put a portal and then measure from the portal. So 3 escorters, and attached is an Aydin that will give me logistical support, which will help when we will see the patron of the crown, and it will also give me supply depot so I can send my SRS even if I start to panic. Right here, little activation of 2 Carolus destroyers from the Order, so they have the bonus of +2 to their fray and they will fight the Excaliburs. We'll see how it goes, I'm not sure they will win. Right here, hidden, we have the Mehmed. With the shield and the Mirage. That's why I parked him like under this terrain. Actually, he's really parked because with the Mirage he can kind of like teleport 7 inches. The plan is to teleport him on the other side, then drift to have an opening, and then with Ikili hull go very fast forward to go and attack the enemy carriers. He has 3 attached escorts and 2 attached Temirs, everything with heavy gun batteries and gun batteries. Let's continue here with the Valid Kosem, my main flagship, where there is going to be the Turkish Admiral for this game. So we'll see if he gets boarded, maybe there will be some consequences. He has 4 escorts, he has focus gunnery, Fortunes of War, sharpshooter, it's a very good ship. He has 2 attached Temir, and the Temirs themselves have 2 escorts. So that's going to be a whole lot of escort and point blank and closing range firepower. And right there, not attached but following, is Konya that will boost all these little escorts, and as we can see from the miniature there, you can also repair them. So if one of the unit dies or they get some catastrophic explosion, you will be able to repair. Let's remember that the Sultanate cannot get a catastrophic explosion through Calcite construction, but they do lose escorters if there would have been a catastrophic explosion. And final, but absolutely not least, activation is going to be this Retaj, where the commander of the Order is. And this little guy is just a beast. I did not put him in strategic reserve because I would try to play a little bit less with strategic reserves, and he can use his 2 heavy torpedo salvos and his twin judgment lances from the turn 1, and he has 2 Carolus destroyers right there, and he will be able to go and try to attack things left and right. That's it for my deployment. I will probably play very aggressive during this turn. Last time I played Sultanate, it was against alliance with Eat Lances, so I was really trying to be dodgy. Here, I think I will just charge forward, and we will see how that goes. Let's go for the crown.
So, hello everyone. So for this force of Chrome fleet, we start with 4 Excalibur destroyers, which with the task of holding my right flank. We'll see how they perform against this big blob of Turkish units, but we'll see. Then I put a big center with 2 heavy carriers, so the HMS Archipelago and classic vanilla HMS Victory. So it is 2
classic, a little bit custom.
Oh yeah, but because I'm cheating on the behalf of my opponents, I'm cheating because we are trying a new version of the Victory with what is it called?
Trident
Generator and 2 torpedo
turrets.
So we're going to try it.
So he pays for the equipment, of course, but it's not supposed to be a legal configuration because you cannot replace the weapon in the back. But I said like, okay, whatever, you get the points, you pay for your turrets, your generator and stuff. And let's try.
The only trick in my list is that I put the ship with Trident generator close to the unit with a lot of torpedoes because I have 3 Prydains, each with a torpedo turret and a guardian generator. So it's supposedly it is my best unit.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try it out. And then on my far left flank, I put the Lord's Ooze. So a really costly unit.
Yeah, 450.
Yeah, 450 points. I don't think they're worth it, but I like the model, so I just put it there.
They're very good looking. They have 14s of war and logistical support
and heavy firepower. Yeah, which
indeed, which is has been a little bit nerfed right now because you cannot link with a different squadron. We are playtesting the rules of 3.04. Orbats. It's basically the latest version. By the time you watch this video, for sure it has been released. Like for now, it's a matter of days now because they're all 8 of them have been corrected already. And we will see how it goes. And we are very excited. There might be some rules we don't get right because many generic rules have changed, but we will try to be careful and play it right. That's why we don't make a super massive game as well with other factions because we want to take our time and make sure we can film everything and make sure we have the rules right. Okay, so that might be a very interesting game. Let's have a look how it goes. The first turn goes to the crown, and first he will make his little vanguard move with the Excaliburs. First activation of the turn. First of all, the Excalibur went to hide. He used his special Mycroft capacity to remove one of my card. It was a 43 points card. And then he activated his Prydains. They very bravely made a little power slide on this side to stay away, but yeah. He wants to stay away and he's going to shoot all the torpedoes. 26 dice is rerolling blanks because of homing. On the Retaj, I have 9 dice of protection and he's going to roll first his dice. 26 dice of torpedoes rerolling blanks.
11 blanks. Okay, starts well.
4 explosives.
Okay, it's over.
Finally over. Bon, this is 19 hits. With 26 dice rolling blanks, it's very underwhelming. I have 9 dice of SDV. -2 is going to be 17. It's going to be 2 whole points of damage and a critical. My first activation is going to be the Retaj because I have from the critical shredded defenses, which means if I don't repair fast, I lose my 8 of ADV or SDV, my 9 actually with the escorts. So I really don't want that, especially since he has a ton of torpedoes. So I'm activating him first. I declared everything on the central Lord's hood because the Prydain already activated. So he's gonna get 18 dice of twin judgment lances, then 10 dice of normal judgment lances from the Carolus, and then 17 dice from the heavy torpedo salvos. We're gonna film first the twin judgment lances, and then we'll see. Notice that he's too far for the Helios Blast, but I put portals here, so if he comes a little bit too close, I will be able to use my other ships to make some broadsides and stuff. So first, 18 dice of sustained twin judgment lances. Sustained. 2 explosives. Another explosive. Okay. He suffered a Sturginium flare, and now it's 10 dice from the single judgment lances, not sustained. 2 explosives. Okay, he is now crippled, and I have 17 dice from the 2 heavy torpedo salvos of the Retaj.
Big.
Oui.
Pas mal. T'as 3...
Putain, c'est lourd. 3 explosives and 1 another explosive, and that's it. Alright, this was a very good roll. It's actually, even with -4 from ADV, it still made 2 hull points and 1 critical, so he has 1 hull point left. Sorry, it was 3 hull points and a critical. So if I roll well, he might sink. And no, he's still alive! But he's not in a very good state right now. And with Ikile Hull allowing me an extra dice, I rolled 4 dices and repaired the shredded defenses. Next activation of the crown is attacking, charging should I say, with the Excaliburs. He's gonna put 6 gun batteries here as well as 2 broadsides, and he moved like this because he's gonna put all his torpedoes on the Topkapi. We will roll all of this. First we will make the first roll and the rest will be out of camera. This is all the gun batteries.
C'était nul.
Eh ben, not great. And no explosives.
6.
Well, because he has, they're obscured because of gunnery.
12, donc ça fait 2 PV.
Okay, so end of the shooting of the Excaliburs. One of the Carolus died because of the last broadside, making a good roll. And the torpedoes did 2 hull point of damage and a critical, which is shredded defenses. So he's a little bit scared now of enemy attacks. We will see what happens, but there are not so many torpedoes that can come anymore. Alright, my activation was the Carolus destroyers. We did 1 hull point with his judgment lens here, and 1 another with a broadside there. Next activation is the Victory with his 10 dices homing, but he didn't need homing, he didn't do any blanks. He did this.
26 hits.
26 hits with 10 dices.
Yeah, nice shot.
Just explosive on explosive on explosive. I thought we would not film it, but eh. In the end, thanks to a good repair roll, I got only 2 hull points and a critical, but the critical is again shredded defenses. So, might hurt all these planes. Alright, activation of the Konya. As you can see, I removed 2 escorters from the Temir to put them on the Konya because I just reread the thing, and on his profile he is now more expensive, but he has 2 skiffs integrated. Okay, fine. Also, this little guy repaired on the Retaj the shredded defenses, and then he shot his little rocket doing nothing, but his torpedo just barely did 1 hull point of damage, which was needed, 5 hits on the Lord's Hood, sinking the central cruiser. So I'm very happy about this. Very good activation of the Konya. Few things happening. The 2 Lord's Hood linked everything and sank 1 of the Carolus destroyers there. Okay. Then I moved these 2 guys doing absolutely nothing. Oh yeah, 1 hull point of torpedoes on these guys, but they shot with their broadside through the portal all the way back there on the little broadside, doing 1 hull point of damage. Okay, but that's not everything. They sent all the SRS on the, sorry, there actually. Here, 5 tokens there and 2 tokens on this guy that has 2 hull points left. All right. And then the Arc Royal is activating. He puts everything on the poor Retaj that now has like 20 SRS tokens. Good that the Konya has a heavy escort now. But he's now choosing his target, and we'll see what he does. He's probably going to shoot on the Velid Kosem. He tried to do heavy firepower at 50 that I countered at 51, and he puts everything, 7 dices of lead with Royal Engineers, then 3 and 3, making 13 dices on the Velid Kosem, armor 8, citadels 15. Let's go. Un explosif.
Peut-être un...
Bah, c'est un critique ça.
Peut-être qu'on est sur les critiques, ouais.
Okay, so in the end it's 2 hull points and 1 critical with 16 hits. And the critical, of course, is another shredded defenses. I don't think he did any. Yeah, 5th time. Like sometimes it's magazine explosion, sometimes it's shredded defense, sometimes it's navigation lock. But
it has been navigation lock on the previous game.
Yeah.
Today it's a
shredded defenses. I moved forward with the Mermed. As you've seen, teleportation, power slide, and Ikili Hull makes me. No, he didn't use Ikili Hull, but it went quite good, quite far. Another thing, the Temir got in range and with their gun batteries did delete this Excalibur here. Torpedoes got intercepted with 2 rolls of -9 defenses, like got intercepted, but I did 4 hull points of damage between the good roll of the gun batteries and the torpedoes. He repaired 1 with a card, and he got a Sturgeon and flare actually. So he has now 4 hull points left. used quite a few points to try to, of guardian points that you can see here. He has 9 more, and now is going to be the time to make my last activation, to move the Valid Kosem and to try to get in closing range and send everything on this little Arc Royal. Let's go. Okay, last shooting of the turn. I moved the Valid Kosem there. I'm gonna declare everything on the what is the name? On the Arc Royal. Torpedoes of the Valid Kosem going on the Lord Hood that is damaged. Torpedoes of the Temir on the Arc Royal, and right now I had 24 dices with focus gunnery. I tried heavy firepower, but he countered it. He made -9 dices, so I have 15 dices. He has -2 citadel because of sharpshooter, and I reroll blanks because of focus gunnery. Let's go. Focus gunnery. 3 explosives. We did the last activation, some damages here, 1 hull point on the Lord's Hood. What's gonna happen now? The interception, he removed 1 SRS token here and 2 SRS token here. A little bit sad, but we'll see what happens. And I, with 11 dices, barely managed to remove 1 token there. So I'm gonna suffer on my Retaj 57 dices, rerolling blanks. Whew, that might be a lot. I'm not sure he will survive like at all until at the end. For sure he's gonna be crippled. We'll make all the interceptions, the repairs, and we'll see at the end of turn 1 who has the initiative. I did nothing on this Excalibur, but I sank the other Excalibur, yay. But what's gonna happen now? 57 dices. Look how much dices it is. Are you happy to throw this, Zongo?
Of course I am.
So 57 dices, rerolling blanks.
Let's go.
Oh la la. Rerolling blanks.
Rerolling blanks.
And 10,000 explosives. Zongo, how many explosives?
13.
13 explosives.
Let's go.
And another explosive.
Okay.
I think it's a double citadel.
Probably. Which doesn't matter.
Which doesn't matter, thanks to the Sultanate. Alright, so in the end, it's 57 hits. You already lost 8 hull points, and then 2 criticals because of piercing, and he made 2 magazine explosions. So he lost another 3 hull points, making it -11. Wow. Well, he's dead. Like, he didn't have that many hull points left. He had 10 left in crippled. So yeah, that's it. Goodbye, Retaj. We will not see his boarding action, which would have been cool, but it's okay. The Sultanate still has a little bit the advantage, I would say. We will make the betting of the cards, and we'll go back. Okay, so I got the initiative, luckily for me, but then we picked up some cards, etc. And he chose randomly 1 card because of Mycroft to remove from my deck. And guess what he removed randomly? My double activation that I kept for the whole game. No! Well, that's an efficient use of Mycroft. Alright, first activation of the second turn. I tried heavy firepower on the Valid Kosem that I bring here to put everything on the victory. It was in the end with Gunrunner that we forgot the last time. 27 dices. We had -17 from the Guardian generators. He spent everything on this and 2 cards to counter heavy firepower. There's gonna be this big 10 dices now on the victory. Torpedoes there, broadsides on the victory as well. Micro torpedoes. We're gonna make all the rolls and see if I do manage to inflict some damage. The Excalibur's strike back. They made some maneuvers, making 12 dices because of shield on the Topkapi with giant slayers, rerolling blank. That's
and 2 explosives.
Wait. He's looking to cripple it. Another explosive. He needs 18 hits or to have a good critical. Okay, he's making a critical. He might cripple him. He's crippled straight. And this little guy takes a point of damage as well. With all the shooting, they did actually cripple the poor little Topkapi with a magazine explosion. This guy took some damage. They also did a whole point on the Carolus with torpedoes, and they tried boarding, but the Order's forces, the core Carolis, decided to make a counter boarding, and actually the poor Excalibur here lost a hull point. Okay, so what did we have? We have the Konya that went here to help boost the defense and to repair the Valid Kosem. the Arc Royal activated, he put all his SRS tokens, so 5, on the Velite Kosem as well. He shot doing 1 whole point of damage, heavy broadside doing 1 whole point on the Temir, and doing nothing because of the shield on the Mermet. That is it for now, and I'm going to activate the Mermaid and do some shenanigans to try to arrive somewhere there. After much movement, the Mermaid arrived here and the Temir there using all their speed. As you can see, what I will do, broadsides are gonna go here with all the boosts from the escorts and these other 2 Temirs. One of them is not going to be able to help for the assault, but I wanted them to all have a little line to combine everything on the Victory there. And torpedoes are also going to go somewhere there. That is going to be a lot of dices. We will check at the end. But yeah, basically the broadside here. He has vulnerable stern now, so that's going to be a lot of devastating attacks. And boarding hopefully will finish him off, and I hope to do some damage on the Victory. Let's see at the end. Okay, so quite a few things happened. First of all, the Mermaid with all its heavy broadsides already sank the Arc Royal by doing something, thanks to devastating, something like 47 hits or something like that. So he was killed outright. I didn't even get to board, sorry escorters. And then all the gun batteries linking together did actually a double citadel on the Victory there, and Sturginium Flare here, so he's already crippled moving forward, so extremely good activation of the Mermaid. And unfortunately it means that the Victory is already crippled and will only have 5 SRS token, so probably also going on the Velite Kosem. We will see what happens. But yeah, a big blow on the crown here from the Mermaid for 230 points before escorts and stuff. It's an extremely good ship. The Lord's Hood have activated. They shot their heavy broadside because yes, we gave them heavy broadside because why a battlecruiser with 150 points and all the turrets wouldn't have it? I don't know. So they did 1 whole point on the Velite Kosem. Then the guy in the back linked all his gun batteries doing 2 whole points and a critical, which was generator offline on the Velite Kosem. Then the guy that was a bit closer shot 2 of the Temir with 2 attacks of gun batteries, very well. And the torpedoes destroyed the Carolus destroyers. That was here. Good activation of the Lord's Hood. Time for the Topkapi. And before I show you the little maneuvers, I was too far to help to put any SRS on the Victory or anyone else. So I put my little aircraft to try to intercept here. Now, what happened with the Topkapi and friends? He put a portal here, and that's going to be important because what's going to happen, he turned here, he's going to link his 2 torpedoes on the guy in the back, heavy broadsides, even though he's crippled, on this guy, boosted by these 3 escorts, and this guy, the Aydin, is also going to shoot at, in the end, he declares on this Excalibur here, and what he's going to do is going to shoot his broadside on this portal. The broadside is going to go out from here, and we're going to measure from there, and it's going to go like this. So that's a classic trick for a Sultanate player. So we're trying it for the first time.
It's in the book.
So that's actually going to be quite fun, quite efficient. I like to play with portals. We will see what happens. Well, they were already dead. I could have done it without the little trick of the portal, but I wanted to show it off. And let's see if the Excaliburs do die. And in the end, I did shoot with the broadside the Excalibur easily, but the torpedoes, when it's crippled, he cannot link. So it was 3 torpedoes attack, 5, 5, and 7, and through mere rolls from my side and good defense roll, the Excalibur is still alive. What the hell? I will try to finish it. So I will try to finish it with the Carolus, but otherwise he's gonna end up the turn. Ouch. And then the Prydains are gonna try to move and maybe to use their bombs and their guns and their bombs. Okay, some activations. The 3 Prydains were devastating. They put their back towards the Velite Kosem, and their bombs can only shoot to the back, and they did like a lot of damage, crippling it outright, making a critical, and he's straight to the black level of disorder. The bombs are really powerful actually, and the torpedoes did a crazy amount of damage. It was something like 30, almost 40 hits, and it straight out crippled the Mermed, unfortunately for him, even with the defenses and stuff. So he's straight crippled, and there was also a magazine explosions, which means that this guy has only one hull point left, and this guy also. This guy has only one hull point left. So big change of situation from the Prydains. They just crippled both of my last remaining battleship. We will see how this goes. Last activation, the victory. The Ark Royal moved like this, putting its torpedoes and Trident generator on this Aydin, doing in the end 1 point of damage, like 2 points of damage from a critical because it was piercing, magazine explosion, and navigation log because of magnetic. And it did nothing with the broadside, heavy broadside, on the little Velit. We will make the interception roll. I should have like something like 20 dice of defense, see what happens. And then we will film for the roll of the air attack. Okay, what happened? I did a very good interception roll, removing 6 tokens, and then I used this card, my last card, to reroll and giving me sustained. So I roll 1 type of dice, and I removed 1 more token, so he loses weight of fire. This is what I was aiming for. So he's gonna have 15 dices, not rerolling the blanks. I hope to survive this, even though he will have initiative.
Bon bah, command override, hein.
Oui. He's using command override. Not rerolling the blanks, but explosives. Oh. And from the piercing attack, he gets even more damage from the morale and stuff, and he is sunk outright. So I lost the Velit Kosem, and I will not have initiative next turn. That might mean that this is going to be very difficult for me. Okay, first activation of the third turn. The Prydains obviously activated first using bombs on the Konya, crippling him, and he's like the black level of disorder is not gonna do much. Do notice that he saved 1 escort from the Velit Kosem, so he has a little bit more defenses, yay. And they linked all the torpedoes, killing outright the Mermed with the salvo. So I think that's going to be it for the Sultanate. I will still play until the end of the third turn. I will try to save my last flagship with my last admiral.
Look at it!
Oh no! He's trying a double activation.
59.
Yeah, I will see if I can counter it. But yeah, basically I think I lost so far. I will try to survive the third turn with the Topkapi and try to flee away from the crown with my last admiral. And we'll see how that goes. Last, next activation, because it did a double activation, the Lord's Hood arrived here. They slaughtered the Konyas that was there. Gun batteries and torpedoes killed the 2 Temirs that were here. I activated then the Carolus. He turned around because we are evacuating this area. He shot down the Excalibur that was still alive there. And then I think it's going to be it. I can try a little attack for glory of aircraft because I have a little bit more range with portals. But that is basically going to be it. Okay, that is going to be it for this game. And in the end, the last Order Admiral, Praetorian Guard Admiral, is going to escape because he started to run away at the end of this turn. He sent his SRS token as a diversion, and they used their Defiant aircraft to cover their Prydains. So all the aircraft were shot down, unfortunately, for the Praetorian Guard. But then we used our best card, and we see that the Topkapi and his escort activate first, so they do manage to evacuate. They activate first, they are faster, so they run away from these 3 Prydains. However, the poor Carolus will not be fast enough, and boop, he will take 30-something dices of torpedoes, so he will not manage to escape. But yeah, victory of the crown here. Quite big. Like, there have been some survivors, thankfully, so it's not total crushing defeat, but it is a victory of the crown. Okay, we hope that you enjoyed. Zongo, I hope you had a fun time playing.
Yeah, so thank you.
Victory for the crown. A little bit debriefing about what we thought about the game and how it went. First, what do you think of your fleet? It was a bit fun list, but
victories. It's very difficult to go through, especially with Guardian generators and stuff. And Prydains, what did you think of your list and how the game went?
Well, first, I'm really surprised that I've won. I just told you. You really jumped at my throat for the first turn, and I felt like I had no escape and I was going to die. But yeah, a bit surprisingly, the list was more resilient than what I thought. With this ability from the banana bombs. Banana bomb, I don't know what they're called, but
they just
the bombs from the Predator.
They are very, very efficient.
Extremely powerful. Yeah, extremely powerful unit overall.
Yeah, the Prydain,
Yeah, it was long range firepower and just all those Guardian dice that brought up to the pool.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically my plan went well. What I wanted. I wanted to attack your right flank with destroyers, and they performed really well. They all got sank, but there are still a lot of results to be dealt with. And on the other hand, my center kind of held. Against your aggression. So kind of happy with it. Well, I wanted to play two heavy carriers because I have this old carrier from V1 that I own this model from.
And they're very
10 years.
They're very tough, and 20 SRS token is very difficult. Like it sinks a lot of stuff. Like the Retaj was destroyed outright.
Yeah, but I had to.
Yeah.
So interesting, but we have to note that I played some improvement from the classic Chrono Bats. With the heavy broadsides and the control cruisers. But the Lords of Squadron is really expensive and really not super good if you don't bring it at least.
That is true.
And,
but it's not easy
and we played a really better version of the victory that is
with the Trident and torpedoes.
Definitely way more interesting than what is with free rockets, turrets, and this awkward angle.
It's very weird, and you're like, how do I play it? With torpedoes, it's much better. So and it makes it in comparison. It's still less good than the Archipelago, but it makes it more of a discussion.
But it's playable. Because as it is, you would never play
the normal victory. Agreed. Okay, on my side, the Sultanate is always very fun to play, very mobile, even though they are very much not resilient. Well, that is the game. The Retaj was very sad because it was my real big damage dealer to lose it on the first turn. This is a big mistake that I made, is not to put it in strategic reserve, but in strategic reserve it would be too strong. Like he would come in the rear and it would be unbearable. He would use his blast, his boarding, etc. It would really be like too strong. But it was a choice to make it more. But strategic reserve is not so fun anyway to just pop anywhere you want. So I wanted to try it like this. But then you receive like 20 XRX token and he died. So you're like, But it was fun to have him anyway. Everybody performed pretty well. I was quite happy with all of them. Even the Topkapi we didn't see that much, but it's still a good ship. The Velid Kosem, as always, very good ship. Very efficient. Of course, when it bounces off the Guardian generators, because I had only few attacks with the gunnery, so it could really cancel it out. I never did a full good attack with the Velid Kosem because it was always cancelled. And the other big ship was the Mermaid, which performed really well. It's very fragile, but as you've seen, when it goes where it wants to be, it's very annoying. And it's
I should have targeted it earlier, probably.
So but someone else would have taken the play. I had a very good firepower, but I got quite some damage on the first turn. But that's obvious because he has extreme range firepower. And then at the end of the second turn, everybody got crippled like in few activations. I was like, okay, this is really going bad. And that's the point where I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna win this one. But still very efficient. It was not optimized list on either side. This is basically just everything I own in Sultanate for now. So I just put everything on the table. And the order is resilient, but when you play them a little bit like this, like in the open, they're too fragile for their point. Like they're very expensive and they're not that efficient if you cannot bring them to boarding, which is what they want to do. So again, strategic reserve there. You need to play them a little bit like Scandinavians. And I didn't play that much with Portal, but because all my Portal souls got destroyed, so sad. Anyway, very fun to play the Sultanate as always. I highly recommend it. Even for new players, because they are surprisingly resilient because of this Oracle side construction. So really happy about those, and we're soon, we hope soon-ish, gonna get the Turkish areas and the Egyptian skimmers. So they should, I hope, during this year, maybe early next year. But then we're gonna have more ships from the Order, and of course the aerial ships of the Order that we expect very much. I will bring them back again as soon as I can make a full battle fleet with some mass 2 cruisers of the Order, and they will get their revenge, and this time they will be in strategic reserves because that's how they're supposed to be played. Thank you again for having watched until the end. As you have seen, if you type a comment, you have a chance to win an entire battle fleet of the Commonwealth or the Black Wolf, whatever you want to play them as. So do leave us a comment, let us know what you like. Of course, give us a thumbs up, it always really helps. And until the next video, remember to keep spreading the love all around. Bye!